All right, what's up, everybody? Another episode of Rawcast AD. Taking it a little bit differently this time. Got an old coworker, good buddy. We always called him Elvis for good reason. Dakota sitting across from me right now. It's going to be an interesting one, I think, because of what you do. And what is that you do, Mr. Elvis?
Well, I have been an Elvis tribute artist for the past 11 years, and that's basically I do all the eras of Elvis's career, 50s all the way up to the jumpsuit. You can hear pretty much a wider range, variety of songs and stuff.
I think that's fantastic. I mean, since I heard about it because we were working at UPS together, and I remember the training supervisor coming up to me saying, "Oh yeah, do you see that guy over there? Bet you can't guess what he does." And at that time, you had the hair in full Elvis form, and I'm like, "Well, no, what?" She's like, "Elvis, man." That was Jen talking about what you did, and at the time I was working with bands, so she's like, "You got to get together with him." But it's like you had your own good thing going. That's a whole different world in the business, and so I just kind of observed it from afar, and it turns out it's not just you out there doing it. To me it looks like a community. How many guys do you work with on this?
Oh man, there's thousands to hundred thousands of these guys. There's from all around the world, Japan, everywhere and stuff. They're everywhere, man.
That is incredible. And then how did you get a start in it?
It was actually, I was raised listening to Elvis music my whole life and stuff. My mom was a big fan, also my father and stuff. I listened to it like literally every day. Like I was raised up with like the Johnny Cash, gospel music, oldies and all that stuff.
That's some quality music right there. I love it. But when you do your performances, it's not just Elvis songs. You have ventured out a little bit.
Yeah, I started out as Elvis, but yeah, I venture out once in a while. I'll do like older country, like 50s, 60s rock and roll music and all that stuff. I like to expand it a little bit to see what the fans like and stuff.
The good, relatable era,
yeah.
Basically. That's awesome. I really do dig it. And I do have to ask, like, about the following. You know, is it still a big following for the Elvis Tribute Artists? Is there a younger crowd that's getting into it?
Yeah, believe it or not, there's a lot of younger generations getting interested into Elvis. It's keeping going and stuff.
Awesome.
Throughout all these years since his death, since 1977, it's still rapidly increasing.
I'm surprised to hear that, actually. So basically, it's kind of like how you got into it. You have your son here sitting next to you, and I'm gonna guarantee that he's gonna be raised up on that music.
Oh, for sure, yeah, yeah. He's always trying to steal the shows, dance, taking my mic stand and all that stuff.
Well, that's what you could expect from your son.
Oh yeah.
But to me, that's just incredible, being able to pass that on, because that's something special. It really is. Like, yeah, I grew up listening to the 80s rock music, but you were actually brought up into the culture of it. And that's completely different. I mean, if you saw me walking around with big hair and, Aquanet, maybe, yeah, then, oh, yeah, he was brought up with the 80s culture. But this is totally different. And so when's the next performance? How often do you perform?
I'll do 3 to 4 performances a month. And my next performance is February 27th. It's at Legend Gyms, Lincoln Lanes. And it starts at 7 p.m. You can get your...
Up in Merrill.
Up in Merrill, yes. And you can get your tickets at the door. You can get them in advance and stuff. You just follow me on Facebook. I can give you any information you need.
And where can they follow you on Facebook?
Just on my profile. Just look me up Dakota Pongratz, or you can find Dakota Pongratz fan club and stuff.
There you go. Do it up, folks. The 27th up in Merrill.
Yeah, and that'll feature two other Elvis tribute artists. And we got a big award-winning Elvis tribute, Mr. Gary Wesley and stuff. He's performed with the actual Elvis and the Jordanaires and all that stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. That's pretty big for you guys, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Talking into my coffee cup's not working so well. But is it tough for you to be able to get out and perform? Because you said 3 to 4 a month. Now, are you still at UPS?
I am actually still at UPS. Yes,
so you got that Monday through Friday.
I got that Monday through Friday stuff, the graveyard shift, and then yeah, it is tough getting gigs and stuff. You got to really push and stuff to promote yourself and stuff.
Oh yeah, and promoting is a full-time job in itself. When I was doing flying fan management, working with bands, that was the hardest thing for them to understand 9 times out of 10 is yes, you may have a manager, but the manager can only do so much. The band has to be willing to do it, the musicians. And so with you being your own solo tribute artist, then you're promoting yourself, your own brand, your own image, and that in itself is a full-time gig. It makes it tough. I see we have some looks over here in the peanut gallery. Care to chime in? No.
No.
Yeah, I know what it's like. My wife, when I was managing the bands, plenty of times was like, okay, you know what? This weekend, no phones, no computers. We're going to have family time. And it was like, yes, dear. Because you can get wrapped up into it. Like, I was working with Twitter quite a bit, and you can get sucked into that pretty badly. But have to take a step back and realize that you're doing it for the reason of performing.
Exactly.
Whereas for me, it was getting people on stage. For you, it's getting yourself on stage. And that's, to me, I'm guessing that's where the real joy comes from, when you're up there pleasing the crowd.
Exactly. Once you hit the stage, it's like, you feel like you got an electric bolt going through you and stuff. It just like, you see the smile on people's faces. It makes you feel good that you're doing a good job and all that.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. I really do. That's... He's presenting it like it's a humbling experience. Like, yeah, you're getting amped up, but like you're getting it with the crowd. Because you do see there's some bands and artists out there that will do stupid things like spit in the crowd and all those tasteless things. But yeah, when you're there and creating just this beautiful moment with the audience, because and with your performances, you're channeling energy from an era past and reliving it in that moment. So that's a special moment. It has to be. I can't see any way it wouldn't be. Did I just talk it up huge?
Hey, man, you pretty much summed it up.
I got to get out. I'm going to try on the 27th to get out and watch you, because I have yet to see you perform.
It's a must-see show. You will not be disappointed. You're going to see everything from the 1950s all the way up to the jumpsuit Elvis and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and this show is actually benefiting Haven, which is a group that actually is against battered women and stuff. So all the proceeds actually goes to Haven.
Okay, yep. So that's really nice. Yep. Combat domestic abuse. So you get, not only are you having just a big performance because you have a legendary tribute artist attending performing, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
So that's going to be big in itself, but then because of it's for a cause to combat domestic abuse, if I could spit out my words. Folks, get out there at the very least to donate, throw your support behind fighting domestic abuse, and watch some good tunes from an era past. Again, February 27th, Les and
Jim's Lincoln Lanes
in Merrill. What time does it start?
Show starts at 7 p.m.
Oh, get out there, folks. Support it one way or another. Rawcast will be there, more than likely. But so then, what have you been up to since? Because you're a father now. You're still doing the Elvis tribute. You're working the graveyard shift. What else do you do?
Well, when I'm not doing Elvis and not doing UPS, I just try to spend as much time with my family as I can, getting out, going shopping, traveling on the road and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I bet you so when you do 3 to 4 shows a month, where are these shows? I know you got Merrill coming up. Are you all over Wisconsin, the Midwest?
Yeah, I've been everywhere and stuff. I've been Midwest. I've been pretty much anywhere. Yeah, and then I got actually after Merrill, the next day I'm gonna be in New London at the Water Supper Club with one of my dear friends Lee Birchfield and stuff. Well, he'll be doing a variety show, and we possibly having a Neil Diamond tribute artist also there too.
Oh wow!
Yep.
See, that's awesome to me. I will go ahead and be the first to admit that typically I have a problem with cover bands. Because especially around here, when I was doing the music thing, it was so difficult to actually get a show for a band because the bar owner would say, well, I can get this cover band for less than that or for the same amount, and I know they'll sell. And so always got frustrating that you would lose out to a cover band, but this is completely different. This is an homage. And it's not just people, well, we can make a couple bucks off of playing some hits. It's people living that culture. And so the 27th in Merrill, the 28th then in New London.
Yep, and the one on the 28th, that actually starts at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'm impressed. It's 3 to 4 shows a month, and do you book them yourself? What's the process?
Me and the wife actually usually go around promoting ourselves. We go around like everywhere and stuff, but yeah, it ranges from gig masters anywhere basically.
There you go. That can be difficult. Like
it really is, yeah.
I know very well you have to be passionate about it to keep going with it.
Exactly. You gotta have the love for Elvis and all that.
You gotta feel it in your gut.
You have to feel it.
Because there's a reason that in the music industry, there were booking agents, managers, tour managers, road managers. There was so much work to be done. It took an entire team for the artist to be able to focus on the music. And so now when we're seeing a collapse of the music industry and all these bands are having to go out on their own, do it independent, DIY, if you will, they're having to do more of the work. And so I do know some artists that are putting in 60 to 70 hours a week just to create more content, promote themselves currently, get themselves the spotlight on stage. And wow, at the end of the day, you're wanting to pull your hair out sometimes.
Oh, there's many times that I'd like to do that.
But you just keep on keeping on.
I just keep on chug-a-lugging.
You have to chug-a-lugging. I love it. But you have to, and especially it's incredible to be able to pursue a passion. A lot of people don't get to do that, or at least don't take the time to find out what they're passionate about. Is there another person here or something? But distractions at the door. Sorry, listeners. But oh man, I'm kind of blown away by this because this is the first you and I have been able to talk in depth about your process and what it is you do. Because we've talked here and there on Facebook and when we worked at UPS together, but naturally at UPS there isn't much time to talk.
No, there isn't.
You're busting it. But I really am. I'm kind of blown away. I'm so impressed with the culture of it, the fact that the following is getting bigger, if anything. And, I mean, in central Wisconsin, or at least in the Midwest, you're able to get 3 to 4 shows a month. That's incredible. I remember when I was trying to book for a metal band, an alternative artist, and basically a rock cover band. I must have called over 100 different places and didn't get a single show. So booking to me is the most horrible thing in the world. My idea of hell would be like trying to book a 100-show tour, just being on the phone forever. I gotta ask, how do you manage to get these shows? Is it just a team effort where?
I honestly believe it is a big team effort, and my wife pretty much is my big inspiration. She knows how to charm things up to the owners.
That's impressive. So you got your own system down.
Oh yeah.
You got to sweet talk the owners. Because I came in formal. I'd say like, this is who we are and what we're trying to accomplish and blah 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 blah. But it still takes a talker.
It really does.
But that's great that you two are working at it together. Oh, now my mic cord's all over. But having big supporters like that, it goes a long, long way. It's tough going at it alone, but when you can actually have people that are on the same page and can fit to help fill in that puzzle that helps get the formula out there to make it big. Still blown away, man. Just totally. And I'm getting silent on it because now I'm trying to picture what goes on at your performances. And I'm going to have to wait until the 27th to find out. But I mean, you must have, if you're saying there's a new generation in it, there's got to be people of all ages there.
Oh, it's rapidly getting better and stuff. There's young kids, like young, at least 2 years old or younger and stuff, that are getting into it.
Dancing to the songs.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
My son, he'll be 1 on the 27th, and every time I start singing, he's just dancing and dancing and screaming. He loves Elvis.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh. He's climbing up to the table. He wants to talk with us. 1 on the 27th, huh? So you're gonna have the birthday party up in Merrill?
Actually, we're gonna be having the birthday party at the Moose Family Center here in Stevens Point, and then literally right after that, I gotta drive right to Merrill. So
that's gonna be
it's gonna be a very, very busy weekend for us.
Well, you might be exhausted by the end of it, but it's probably gonna be well worthwhile.
Ooh, very much.
You're wearing camo, both of you. Do you hunt? Or do you do it for the look, man?
I just do it for the look. Yeah, I just love the look.
Camo looks good up here in Wisconsin. Do you see him being a performer later in life?
Yeah, possibly. My
Too
wife,
early to tell?
yeah, my wife thinks she's gonna be a drummer.
Really? You drum on everything?
He literally drums on everything. He loves to make drum noises like literally every day. he can keep a beat. He can keep a beat like that.
Not even one. He's keeping a beat.
Oh yeah.
That is awesome. Look at you. You guys are such a good family. So what's happening with UPS these days? Same old faces, or most of us are rotated out?
It's all pretty much all the same old faces. We get a couple of new hires here and there, but they don't last.
Yeah, still dealing with the turnover.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, and listeners, I know we talked about UPS quite a bit when Craig was on to talk about management, but this is a different perspective. So you get to triangulate your sources and realize, yeah, they weren't lying. Still got to deal with all the increased productivity.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting multiple trailers.
Multiple trailers, and you get like 2 big hits at one time. It's just like you literally want to rip your hair out and scream out the top of your lungs.
I've seen people be able to. It's hard to explain, but there's a certain position between 2 work areas that is basically the bulk person. That person has got to be working 110% the entire night. And I did see one person be able to do it, but it eventually broke him. He started calling in, or he'd double shift and not work his regular shift. And after he left, there were a lot of people to rotate through that position because it was the backbone. And I remember one night seeing you get pretty frustrated, and I was like, okay, that job there is serious business. I've never seen Elvis get that frustrated.
Full on rage.
Folks, if you can imagine it, we were getting the packages as quickly as they could get them out of the trailer, because we were just a redistribution center essentially. And so as fast as they could get them out of the truck, that's as fast as you were getting them, unless they had a jam or something, and then it piled up. So if you can imagine upwards of 400 to 500 packages in a pile coming down a conveyor belt, looking like a giant brown cardboard candy bar just coming down the belt at you, that's what it was like. And then so where you'd be positioned doing that job, they had to stop. Well, you throw that much packaging at it, it's going to fall all over the catwalk. And
then you're tripping over boxes.
Yeah, this isn't trying to persuade people to not go through UPS. I still ship UPS. I was there for over 5 years. I've seen a lot of things, man. But it's a tough job. And I don't know if you happen to hear it, but when Craig was on, do you remember Craig Schlosser?
Yes, I do.
He was talking about... Oh, now I'm losing it. We're going through talking about the positions at UPS, we're like pullers and loaders, and the biggest problem it's good to have the union there, but the biggest problem is that there's a union there, because then people like you are putting out double the productivity, and then one trailer down, you got somebody sitting there on their phone, and you can never get away from it.
It's crazy.
And like where my department was, we were called the Red Belt, and we kind of formed our own little alliance to where we were the outcasts, basically. I mean, we all opened up, and it became closer between your department and mine. But for the longest time there, when we were so short-staffed, running on 4 or 5 people for the entire department, yeah, we got to be very rude to a lot of people. And for any past transgressions, I do apologize if there are any. But it is a tough job. And so when you're saying a graveyard shift, that's 11 at night to 3 in the morning on average. Hopefully a trailer doesn't break down. Hopefully trailers aren't coming in late, because I know we had plenty of nights where the next shift was coming in. I mean, we dealt with the freight, and then the next shift did the local deliveries. Well, we used the same equipment, so if they came in and we were still working, we were just that far behind. And so to be able to have your family, to be a dad, working that shift, which is physically demanding, and then it really does screw up a regular sleep schedule, in addition to performing, doing your own managing and all of that, when do you have downtime?
It's really hard, really. I mean,
like, you literally have to schedule free time.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm marking tomorrow off for relaxation.
Exactly.
But you need some R&R every now and then.
Yes, I do.
It's like, what have you guys done as a family? Go out.
Actually, we are going on our first trip together and stuff to Memphis, Tennessee at the end of April, I believe.
Really? You guys
Yep.
go? Oh, that's fantastic.
Yep.
What's on the itinerary?
Well, definitely we're going to Graceland.
Oh, that's a given.
Yeah. I actually haven't been there since I was 8 years old, and I've heard a lot of things have changed, and I'd like to share that experience with my son. And then my wife hasn't been there either, so it'll be something new for her too.
Really? 8 years old?
I was 8 years old, yeah.
And you're how old now?
24.
Well, it's your due then, huh?
I'm very much due.
And then what, regular trips from then on? You're going to try to make it incremental?
Well, we'll see how the money rolls.
Yeah. That could be a big thing.
Yeah.
You better get a lot of pictures while you're there.
Oh, I definitely will.
Maybe get yourself a performance or two.
Well, that'd be very nice.
You know how awesome that'd be? Go down to Memphis, get a show. Man, you'd have a twinkle in your eye for years.
Oh, I'd have the biggest grin on my face.
People will be looking at you at work. Elvis, why are you smiling? Like, you don't even know. You don't know my life.
You don't even know, man.
Oh, it's awesome. I need a refill on coffee. Wow. Not even one. Folks, we do have a little bit of a crowd in here. And we do have, I have my own kids, and so we got magnets on the fridge and cave paintings down the walls. But they're playing on the door, and I'm fascinated with little kids, so I get distracted. Even when I'm at work, if a customer comes through with their child, odds are I'm going to be talking to the kid and not the parent. So I'm sorry. But, wow. When did you actually get started in performing? Because you were brought up into the culture, but when was your first performance? And do you actually remember the first time?
Oh, man, I gotta go back way in time.
Dust the memories off, man.
If I were to take a guess, before I was an actual Elvis Tribute Artist, I would sing with jukeboxes, CD players, and all that stuff. I was probably 7, 8 years old and stuff. I would perform just like in front of people, just to show them I like Elvis and stuff. And the actual Elvis tribute life started back when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
Yep.
And so do you remember when you were 14? Like, when was it a big enough crowd? Like, did you ever feel a little bit of stage fright, or was it always just energizing for you?
It was very much energizing when I first started out and stuff.
You embraced it.
Oh,
huh?
I embraced it. I mean, Elvis actually, he was always nervous going on stage. I would literally watch his concert, and he would always say he was always scared to death before going on stage, but that it was always that nervous energy that got him to shake so much. That's what he likes. That's what everyone liked and stuff. That's what made him Elvis.
Is that the case?
Yeah, or like according to like on one of the stage shows, he had grasshoppers in his pants.
Because I'm not well versed in the history of Elvis, and so I mean, do you probably have memorabilia, books?
Oh man, I got
DVDs,
I got
everything.
books. I got all the movies and stuff. Oh yeah.
And let's go ahead and venture into the like watching Elvis's performances, hearing his voice. What does it for you? Like, what brings that energy to you? I want to basically hear why Elvis is awesome in your own words.
Well, he was always a great humanitarian and stuff, and he always donated to so many charities and stuff. Always had time to take pictures with like even people like in like Special Olympics, you know, Red Cross.
Oh wow!
What's the Well, I don't remember what that one's called.
The diabetes one, or
no, something with the dimes.
Oh,
March of Dimes. Yeah, March of Dimes.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't realize that. So he was basically a philanthropist.
Yeah.
Wow. And then so that's Elvis as the guy, but then how about Elvis as the legend?
Wow.
Like, what about it sucks you in to just basically being enamored by the whole legend of Elvis?
Just basically the way he was able to draw the crowd in and stuff, and like the way he made those people scream and stuff.
Because he got their attention.
Oh, he got it definitely.
And
even till the end and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, even till the end when, yeah, he was a little overweight towards the end, but even when he literally would have a fever and stuff and like very sick, and he would draw his heart out and stuff, and he would always give 110% in all his performances and stuff.
Just showmanship completely.
Complete showmanship.
And that to me is a class act. I wish there were more people like you. Look at Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne, somebody like threw a water bottle at him while he was on stage, and he got upset, slammed the mic down, and walked off. You know, he's somebody that has quit performances multiple times, but then you got Elvis, who is extremely sick, just going out there because he's got to give them a show.
Yes.
That's oh, that's totally fine. It's an empty box. No, to me that's just fantastic, man. Like it's still iconic, even for me, not being a huge Elvis fan by any means. I respect the guy, but you still watch those early clips of him shaking his hips on TV.
Oh, by God, back in those days, you'd think he was getting shunned and stuff, and like all the mothers. And
it was controversial.
It was controversial, but now you see stuff today and stuff. Like you got guys with their pants sagging down. You got Justin Bieber.
Yeah. Oh, Justin. And see, in a way, Elvis helped pave the way for that.
Oh, yeah.
But now what he did is kind of considered tame by today's standards, but I just have a feeling
Oh,
that...
man, he was tame.
Yeah. It's just that now I do think we've gone a little too far in the let's open it up to whatever. There needs to be more class.
Exactly.
Like, the whole thing about Elvis is class. He was tasteful. The donations, that's news to me. I had no idea.
He was very, very charitable and stuff. He would literally give the money out of his wallet if he saw someone struggling.
That's impressive.
Or he would constantly he would actually give people cars and stuff and houses and stuff.
Are you serious?
Literally. He
loved his mama.
By God, yeah. He loved his mama, yeah.
She raised him right then.
She did.
So, there never really was a scandal with Elvis. Like, because everybody likes hearing about scandals, but there's a reason he was the king, you know?
There actually is he actually had a twin brother, Jesse Guerin, but he actually died at birth and stuff. Just think if there was actually 2 of them out there.
Oh my God. The world wouldn't have been able to handle it.
2 pelvis shakers. And then you'll have all the girls going, Elvis, Elvis!
Oh, there would be people swooning. And now in the background, we've got my wife and Dakota's old friends back in the day. A mutual friendship that I didn't know about until we got to know each other at UPS. Oh, do you? Okay, we'll see you. Sorry for the long pause, folks. There's a lot going on today. Now, I've seen you were buying outfits or basically apparel, selling some outfits. I'm curious about that because a lot of the artists that I worked with, they would wear jeans and a t-shirt and go out there, but you have to personify.
You gotta have you gotta have the look. You can't go cheap in this business.
So I mean, you're dropping.
I'm dropping.
Excuse me. You're dropping it for the quality merchandise. You're not getting just a spandex Elvis suit.
No, I go the way out. I go way out. I get all the authentic stuff, just like his.
Just like, so how much? Oh gosh, I know so many questions. I'm grabbing coffee again, folks. This is very unorthodox of me. So I mean, how many eras were there? Like, because how many uniforms or costumes shall we say you have?
Oh, I have many uniforms. I can name some off. I got the gold lame, which Elvis wore in 1956 and 1957, and you got a lot of the tweed jackets that he wore in the earlier days.
Oh.
And he had a lot of movie outfits, like the Western outfit, like the teddy bear outfit, and then you have outfits like the Army. And Elvis was in the Army for 2 years and stuff. He was enlisted.
Yeah, so it wasn't just for show.
No,
he was qualified to wear the uniform.
He actually was in the Army, yeah. And then you got the thing that actually, when he was in the movies, what brought him back was the iconic 68 comeback, which was the 68 leather. Brought him back into the business.
About that flair.
Pretty much reinvented him and stuff.
Really, just with the image. Mm-hmm. The image was the driving force to that relaunch.
Yeah. Pretty much, he had once he got to the later years, he had such a raw voice and stuff. It was basically like seeing him back in 1954, but now it's just like, wow.
But a fresh
new start.
Like whole new platform.
And then right after that performance, he started in Vegas and stuff. And he went through so many changes and stuff. He was actually when he was in the Army, he actually studied karate and stuff. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he was actually a black belt.
I was not aware of that. I need to do some digging on this. I need to read up on Elvis. Like I said, always had respect for him. Enjoy the music and the movies for the most part. No problems, no complaints from me. But I never really got to know him as a person. And like, I imagine him doing karate in those uniforms. That's blowing my mind.
Yeah, actually, he brought a lot of the karate into his later jumpsuit years and stuff. In the early 1969 and 1970, guy had actually made him karate outfits and stuff. And then his manager wanted more bling to it and stuff, so they brought in the chain outfit, which had like chains all the way down and stuff, and he got the beaded suit, which was the fringe, and then like after that he started wearing bejeweled jumpsuits and all that stuff.
Yeah. Got a little more glam style.
More glam, yep.
And I say glam with respect. There's nothing wrong with glam, folks. I mean, 80s hair took it a little to the extreme, but Elvis, that made it look just classic.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, it was immediately just good looking, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of his suits, you wouldn't think they're heavy, but they're actually very, very heavy when you put them on and stuff. They can weigh up to 7 or to 10 pounds, believe it or not. And then you got like a heavy cape on the back with bejeweled, and that's strenuous on the thing. And then
under stage lights.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And then his Aloha from Hawaii performance, he actually threw his heavy Aloha cape out into the crowd, which today it probably would be worth a lot of money.
Oh, I can imagine. Because there's only one official one out there that...
Yeah, there's replicas, but not Elvis's.
Not that one
Yeah.
from that night.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Memorabilia like that does go for a lot, but from the King, that's got to be
And
huge.
he would go through thousands of dollars from jewelry and stuff, because he would constantly get jewelry, but he would always give it to a fan and stuff.
That's a good problem to have. The fact you're too nice, you keep giving away your stuff.
That sounds a little bit like me too.
Well, you know what? Because like we've talked about, you're brought up into the culture of it. It's not just I like his music, I like his stage presence. It's
He was a great humanitarian. He was a very generous and respectable man.
you like him all around, and so you like live up to that because it sounds he did have a great faith-based values and ethical standards, a moral system.
He was a very, very religious man.
Absolutely, and for the right reasons. I know people have heard me bash religion in the past, but I'm totally fine with it as long as it's for the right reasons. And like I see you have posts that I would say are more faith-based. Religion, that gets to be a tricky topic, really, or tricky word to use. But I mean, you guys are. It looks like you're strong in your faith, and
yes, very, very much.
that was a cornerstone of Elvis.
And then he was raised on the gospel and stuff. That actually was his favorite genre. He actually won. He won 2 awards on how great they were in the 1960s and in the 1970s.
Is that right?
Yep.
Do you happen to know how many awards he won across the span of his career? It's got to be astronomical.
He's got so many gold records. It's pretty.
And those gold records came at a time before they had the platinum record status. So that's huge. Like if you could go ahead and use today's standards back then, those would be double platinum albums that he was putting out because people loved it.
Yeah, and producers are actually today still taking some of his material and putting it into new CDs. They actually just came out with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. They took a lot of his songs and stuff, and that's actually put him back on the charts and stuff.
Are you kidding me? Elvis is coming back on the charts.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
After all these years, yeah.
Like when you see, I'm going to bash a little bit, but when you see like Justin Bieber, Kanye, and those people getting on the charts, I would love to see Elvis up there and just knock them down a peg because Elvis comes from an era that still had real music. Like we said, it was more based out of gospel because of his faith and his upbringing, but that was him. And those are quality songs. The topics are solid. They're golden. And now we got people singing about going to the club. and there's no depth to it. And, I mean, that to me is the biggest thing. You can be a great musician, but if you don't have a message, if you don't have an underlying purpose, there's no way, in my opinion, you can be great. It's just a hollowed gimmick then. Whereas you're bringing it from deep at the core, branching it out there. Like you said, when you get on stage, it's like just a jolt, and then you're creating that moment. You, sir, are a true performer with showmanship then. And that's saying something by today's standards because a lot of people that are making the big bucks on the big stage, they're just going through the motions. Yeah, they're putting out good music, but they're going on these tours, and that's where they make most of their money through merchandise. But when you're going out there when you make your money by being on the road and you're playing the same songs every night for 9 months, you'll get burnt out. Whereas, like I said, it's just completely enveloped you as a person. You've got the cornerstones of Elvis are your upbringing, essentially. And so to me, that's the contrast there separates it from, I mean, it's lasted generations and will for generations to come. And it's fantastic to have gotten to talk to you about this because I've seen stuff. Okay, people talk about the Elvis, and I always hated the term impersonator.
I've never really liked impersonator. A tribute artist means you're paying tribute to him. Like impersonator, it's just like you're kind of not taking it serious and stuff.
Okay, well, you can kind of look like him.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a tribute artist to me. But when I watch certain shows and they're talking about the tribute artist, it's a cool concept to me. But you were the first person that I knew of that actually did it, and you're out there doing it as a passion, a hobby, and hopefully making some money from it because you are definitely good at what you do. And it's just so impressive that you have that going. It's time tested, man. All the way back from the 50s where he was getting his start up till now. Who else has a following like that? Like Johnny Cash doesn't have as much of a following for tribute artists. Yeah, people do Johnny Cash covers, but what was it? Because you can Johnny Cash, Elvis, both very big names, though Johnny didn't get as much of a boost until after he passed. But why Elvis? How come we don't see this huge following with any of the other big artists from the time?
Oh, Elvis has something that other entertainers didn't have. He had his own twist and stuff. He was way ahead of his time.
He basically spearheaded his own movement, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it took back then. I would say up until probably 10, 15 years ago in music, that's what it took. Having your own. And it wasn't a gimmick. A lot of people say that, well, what's your musician's gimmick? What's your band's gimmick? Again, just like the term impersonator, gimmick. It's so frustrating because then using the term gimmick implies that you're trying to use a strategy to either get people in for the shows or, basically generate a buzz, which is fine. You want to promote yourself, but like, say, I'm going to take that tangent to ask, so when you guys are promoting yourself, working together as a team, do you just drive around and talk to people? Because you said you find them online. Do you contact by phone, email? How do you go about this?
Yeah, we drive around and stuff everywhere, and we drop off our business cards, we hang them up. I do talk by phone, yes. But yeah, we just basically drive around. We have our own promo book with all the pictures and all that stuff we've been showing off.
So you guys have it professionally going.
Professional, yes.
That's fantastic. It's tough to do that because that takes time and effort to put that together because you basically have a press kit then. And so you hand deliver the majority of these press kits then,
yes.
Huh? And that's all the difference because especially if you're present, you're giving them the promotional materials, but then there you are, you've got the look, people can see it. So not only do you have the press kit, but then they get a visual right up front. They get to hear your voice because you can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, I'm always asked like, why do you talk like that? I'm like, are you doing that on purpose? I'm like, no,
it's your voice.
It's my voice. It's just all that years of singing and stuff.
Pretty much, it grows on you.
It really does, yeah.
I mean, yeah. You've talked the same since I met you at UPS. That has not changed. And we've known each other close to 2 years now.
Yeah, I would say
pretty close.
2 years. Yeah.
Oh, the time flies, man. I'm watching your son over there, so big, walking on his own.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 1-year-old soon. Mine are 3. Well, next month 4, and then 2. And they are troublemakers. They got into the rock music, and I think it spoiled them.
Yeah.
But I'm seriously left here just ideas swirling in my head thinking about this because I thought we were going to have a nice topic where you'd inform me of what you do and the Elvis tribute culture that goes on. And it sounds so much bigger, and it's like a whole world of its own that I didn't even expect. And now I'm going to be looking all this up later today, just researching and reading up on it, which, I know people, I should have done that ahead of time.
Yeah, and
But-
you can find so much stuff about Elvis that would literally blow your mind.
Oh, I bet.
He loved guns. He actually loved guns. He would actually carry them. He actually carried one into the Oval Office when he met Richard Nixon and stuff.
Are you kidding me? How did that go over with Secret Service?
Yeah. Yeah, well, Richard Nixon actually appointed him as part of the DAA. So Elvis was part of the DEA and stuff. He actually had badges and stuff.
Okay, so he was technically allowed to carry a firearm into the Oval Office.
Not till he got the badge and stuff, but he actually...
Oh, so he didn't have it at the time.
He brought it in. It was actually in his boot and stuff.
Oh my God, that's incredible. I'm going to have to seriously look... You might have turned me into a bigger Elvis fan than I considered
And
myself
actually,
before.
a funny fact about Elvis, if he didn't like something on TV, he would actually shoot the TV out with his pistol.
Are you kidding me?
So he would constantly go through TVs and stuff.
What, he just didn't want to change the channel?
Oh man, if he was pissed, he would be shooting stuff.
Wow. So he did have a bit of a mean streak, or did he just enjoy the gun that much at the same time?
Yeah, he had his all mean streak. I mean, we all have our mean streaks and stuff.
Absolutely. But I mean, at the end of the day, he was still a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
And nobody can take that away.
No.
I didn't know about the guns, though.
Yeah, he loved his guns.
I mean, as do I. You know, it's Second Amendment, man.
Exactly.
We've got a few guns, including a pistol. Obviously, keep them locked away so the kids can't get them. Yada yada. Be responsible.
Yep.
But I'll side with Elvis on that, man.
He actually presented Nixon a pistol into him and stuff.
Well, that is a nice gift to the president. No, I'm serious too. It's comical to me, but yet still impressive. But somebody going to the Oval Office being like, "Here, have this gun. My gift to you, sir." But you almost got to wonder, was Elvis humbled to meet Nixon, or was Nixon humbled to meet Elvis? You know?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think Nixon to Elvis, more or less. You know, because Elvis was his own person.
Oh yeah.
Yes, he respected the president, but probably wasn't, totally stars for him. Sorry, I'm distracted again. But yeah, man, so I really do appreciate you coming on and explaining this. I didn't do my research on Elvis as much as I should have because, like me, I know a lot of our Rawcast listeners don't know all that much about Elvis or about the tribute culture like we were talking about. And so this was like an introductory look into your world, man. Basically the family of the Elvis Tribute Artist. And I appreciate you taking the time, having your family over to talk about this. Again, we got the 27th in Merrill. I remember Les.
Yep, that's the 27th at Les and Jim's Lincoln Lanes. The show starts at 7 p.m. That'll feature 3 of us Elvis Tribute Artists. Me, myself, as Dakota Pongratz, Christopher Lonsdorf, and Mr. Gary Wesley. And all the proceeds go to Haven. And that's a benefit that proceeds to battered women. And for the next day, I'm also going to be in New London with my good friend Lee Birchfield. He's an award-winning Elvis tribute artist himself, and he does a variety show. And a possible Neil Diamond tribute, too. So that's also a must-see show.
There you go, folks. He said it again. The 27th in Merrill, 28th in New London. 2 great shows. Rawcast AD is going to be checking them out. We hope to see you out there. Dakota, Elvis, as we always called you, rightfully so. I wish you the best of luck in your future with this. You guys have a good thing going. Keep it riding and enjoy every single minute of it. Keep Elvis alive in our hearts, man.
Well, thank you so much for having me. God bless you.
Thank you.